Hello, everyone, and welcome to the highlights and breakdown of the Montreal Expos' first game against the New York Mets. And we are going to jump right into this highly competitive game where we actually got off to the perfect start, 1 out in the top of the first, and Keisha Phillips' 1-0 count is going to unleash the power and hit our first home run of the season, second batter of the season, and Keisha Phillips gets the job done. Just a beautiful swing, pulls the ball, gets it into the street, and just an excellent swing of the bat. So we were feeling good early as we take the 1-0 lead. Pablo Sanchez coming up next, and he is also going to unleash a beautiful line drive to straightaway center field, but a beautiful running catch by the Mets center fielder there. Later, top of the second, 2 outs, Ernie Steele is going to hit a solid single to right as we continue to try and build momentum, but nothing comes of it as Amanda Hellerman is able to strike out Luann Louis 2 batters later. We go to the bottom of the second where Luann Louis tries to blow one past Gary Allen, but he is up to the task and nearly hits it out off the very short cement wall in center field. Good defense by Dante to hold him to a single, but Luann is able to strike out back-to-back hitters and then take care of this ground ball herself to get out of the inning. Top of the third, 1 on for Keisha as she looks to add to her power game. Amanda Hellerman, at this point, we did not know that she gets stronger throughout the game, and in this case, Keisha looks to have gotten a hold of another one, but it ends up being a fly out to center, and nothing comes of that inning. Bottom of the third, our old friend Eric LeBeau up to bat, gets strike 1 on him, and then Luann pumps a left hook in there, and Pablo is unable to make this play. He tries to throw him out at first, but Jocinda Smith, a extremely delayed reaction there, and all of a sudden we are throwing it all over the field. Eric LeBeau, an aggressive base runner by nature, gets all the way to third, a 2-base series of errors there. And it looks like Rosanna Phelps is going to allow them to tie the game as this ball drops and Eric LeBeau is on his way home. We are looking at a tie game until Mikey Thomas out of nowhere rifles it from second base and throws him out. Just an amazing play. And we get out of that jam, but in the bottom of the fourth, the Mets come back at us again with Gary Allen, and this time once again throwing the ball away, an unfortunate pattern allowing him to get to second, and Jorge Garcia on the first pitch unleashes a shot to left center field, and this one does manage to scrape over the fence just barely, but enough to give the New York Mets a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the fourth. And it's partially mistakes on us and partially good pitching from them. But we are now confirmed to be in a big fight. Bottom of the fifth, our batter's still not able to do anything. Eric LeBeau up again, and this time it's a solid single to center. Or so we think, because as soon as Mikey Thomas mishandles the ball, Eric LeBeau is on his way to second, and quite frankly should have been out by a lot more. But we do manage to throw him out at second base eventually. Pablo Sanchez is struck out in the top of the sixth by a fireball. Hellerman saving all her fireballs for Pablo Sanchez. Used that to get him out earlier. Luann Louis with a second crack at Jorge struck him out, but that was the last thing she would be able to do for us. Ernie Steele comes in, gets us out of the bottom of the sixth jam, and then comes up in the top of the seventh and hits a beautiful tailor-made ground rule double to left field, gets on to second base, and we are trying to come back with the bottom of the order. Dante Robinson up next, and he is going to hit a little dribbler to the pitcher. Doesn't look like much comes of it, but his speed forces a overly quick throw, and now we have second and third with nobody out. But this is where Hellerman was at her best, striking Luann out, painting the bottom corner there. Jocinda Smith up next with the opportunity to tie the game, and once again painting that low inside corner. Jocinda Smith, nothing she could do about that. Hellerman almost out of the jam, but it is Keisha Phillips who managed to get a seeing eye ground ball right up the middle, and it is just enough for Ernie Steele to score and tie the game. And now we have Pablo up with 2 on and 2 out, and he's looking good, but he swings and misses at a pitch outside the zone. Hellerman had his number, so we go to the bottom of the 8th now, where Paco Kaufman is going to hit a dribbler, but Luann, not fully recovered from her pitching performance, unable to get the ball to first in time. Paco Kaufman would steal 2 bases and is on third with nobody out. Ernie Steele able to strike out Mike Piazza, and then Gary Allen forces him to ground out to the pitcher. Ernie Steele barely getting the ball there. It's 2 outs. Now we look to be almost out of the jam, but this time Jorge Garcia once again sending it to left. Keisha Phillips overrunning the fly ball. And unfortunately, that is enough for Jorge Garcia to drive in the winning run, as we are unable to do anything in the top of the 9th against an increasingly powerful Amanda Hellerman, who gets Jocinda Smith to pop out to herself. And that is the game. A 3-2 victory for the Mets, leaving us, the Montreal Expos, at 0-1. Makes it interesting, but we have a lot of work to do, starting with our upcoming game against the Junior Melonheads.